Hello everyone! Today, let's talk about something incredibly important in our modern world, artificial intelligence or AI. Think of AI as a computer program that can learn and make decisions, almost like a human brain. It's the science behind self-driving cars, the recommendation lists you see on your favorite streaming service, and even the apps that can identify a plant from a photo. It's a powerful tool, a result of science, engineering, and a whole lot of curiosity. But just like any tool, it can have some problems if we're not careful. It's not magic, it's code and data working together in a fascinating way. Now, let's consider the word bias. Bias simply means having a preference for one thing over another, which can sometimes be unfair. Humans have biases all the time. Maybe you prefer chocolate ice cream over a vanilla. That's a simple bias. But sometimes biases can be harmful, like if a judge unfairly prefers one group of people over another. When we combine AI and bias, we get AI bias. This happens when an AI system makes decisions that are consistently unfair to certain groups of people. It's not that the computer is thinking in a prejudiced way. It's that it has learned to repeat unfair patterns it has seen before. Let's imagine an AI system designed to help a company hire new employees. The AI's job is to look at hundreds of applications and pick the best ones. If this AI has a bias, it might, for example, unfairly favor applications from men over equally qualified women. Or consider an AI used for facial recognition. A biased system might be really good at identifying faces of people with lighter skin, but make a lot of mistakes when trying to identify people with darker skin. This isn't just a small glitch, it's a serious problem that can affect people's lives in very real ways, from job opportunities to personal safety. So AI bias is essentially a computer system making skewed or prejudiced decisions. It's a digital echo of human unfairness. The AI itself doesn't have feelings or opinions, but it learns from the information we give it. If the information we provide is biased, the AI will learn those biases and apply them with incredible speed and scale. It's like teaching a student with a textbook full of mistakes. The student will learn the wrong information and repeat it. Our goal is to give our AI systems the best, most balanced education possible so they can be fair for everyone. Consider it. So where does this AI bias actually originate? It's not like a programmer intentionally types "be unfair" into the code. The biggest source of the problem is something called training data. To learn its job, an AI needs to study a huge amount of information. For a hiring AI, this could be thousands of past job applications. For a facial recognition AI, it could be millions of photos of faces. The AI looks for patterns in this data to learn how to make decisions. It's like how you learn to identify a cat by seeing many pictures and examples of cats. The data is the AI's teacher. The problem starts when the training data itself is biased. Let's go back to our hiring AI. If a company has historically hired more men than women for a certain role, the training data, all those past applications, will reflect that history. The AI will study this data and learn a pattern. It seems like men are more often chosen for this job. So it starts to prefer male candidates not because it's sexist, but because it's just repeating the pattern it was shown. The AI doesn't understand fairness or history. It only understands the data it was given. It's a classic case of garbage in, garbage out. Another source of bias comes from the humans who create and manage the AI. The people who design these systems decide what data to use, what the AI should look for, and how its success is measured. These choices can accidentally introduce bias. For example, if engineers testing a facial recognition system only use photos of their co-workers, who might all look similar, they might not realize their AI performs poorly for people who look different. It's an oversight, a blind spot, that can have big consequences. We all have our own unconscious biases, and they can sneak into the technology we build without us even noticing. Finally, the way we define a successful outcome for an AI can also create bias. Imagine an AI designed to predict who is likely to commit a crime. If it's trained on old arrest data, which might reflect historical biases in policing, the AI might learn to associate certain neighborhoods or groups of people with crime. The AI might become very accurate at predicting arrests based on that biased data, but it's not actually predicting crime fairly. It's just predicting who is more likely to be arrested based on past flawed patterns. This is why it's so important to think carefully about what we're asking the AI to do. You might be thinking, okay, so some computers are a little unfair. What's the big deal? Well, it's a huge deal. The consequences of AI bias are not just theoretical. They affect real people in their everyday lives. As we use AI to make more and more important decisions, from who gets a loan to who gets medical care, fairness becomes absolutely critical. If an AI system that approves bank loans is biased against people from certain neighborhoods, it can prevent entire communities from building wealth and achieving their dreams. It's not just an error message on a screen, it's a closed door to opportunity. Think about the justice system. Some courts are starting to use AI to help decide whether a defendant should be released on bail. The AI analyzes data about the person and predicts their risk of committing another crime. Now, if that AI is biased, perhaps because it was trained on data that reflects historical inequalities, it could unfairly recommend that people from minority groups be kept in jail, while others are set free. This could lead to people losing their jobs, their homes, and their freedom, all based on a flawed computer program. That's a massive impact on someone's life, based on biased science. Bias in AI can also reinforce and even amplify harmful stereotypes. Imagine a search engine that, when you search for CEO, mostly shows you pictures of men, or when you search for nurse, it mostly shows you pictures of women. This might seem small, but it shapes how we see the world and what we believe is possible for ourselves and others. It subtly tells us who belongs in what role. Over time, these digital stereotypes can strengthen real-world prejudices, making it even harder to achieve equality. The AI is reflecting our biases back at us and making them seem like objective fact. Ultimately, we should care about AI bias because we care about fairness. Science and technology should be tools that help everyone, that lift society up and create more opportunities for all. If we allow our AI systems to be built on a foundation of bias, we are essentially building a future where inequality is automated. We are creating a world where discrimination can happen at a massive scale, hidden behind a mask of objective technology. We have a responsibility to ensure that the tools we create reflect the best of our values, not the worst of our historical mistakes. We can do better. So how do we fix this? How do we get the bias out of the bots? It's a complex problem, but there are definitely things we can do. One of the most important steps is to improve the data we use to train AI. We need to be like data detectives, carefully examining our data sets for hidden biases. This means collecting data that is diverse and representative of everyone the AI will affect. If we're building a facial recognition system, we need to train it on millions of photos of people of all ages, genders, and skin tones. A balanced diet of data makes for a healthier, fairer AI. Another key solution is to have diverse teams of people building the AI. When the engineers, designers, and project managers all come from different backgrounds, they bring different perspectives. They are more likely to spot potential biases that a more uniform team might miss. Someone on the team might say, "Hey, have we tested this on older users? Or does this work for people who speak different languages?" A variety of viewpoints is like having a team of proofreaders for fairness, helping to catch mistakes before they become part of the system. It's the power of teamwork in action. We also need to demand transparency and accountability. That means the companies building AI should be open about how their systems work and what data they were trained on. We should be able to ask questions and get clear answers. It's also important to have humans in the loop. For critical decisions, like in hiring or justice, the AI should be a tool to assist a human, not replace them. A human can provide context, empathy, and common sense that an AI lacks, and they can overrule a biased recommendation. The AI can provide data, but a person should make the final, thoughtful call. Finally, we can all play a part by staying curious and informed. Learn about how AI is being used in your community. Ask questions about fairness. Support companies and organizations that are committed to building ethical AI. The more we all understand this topic, the more we can push for technology that is fair, just, and beneficial for all of humanity. It's not about being against technology. It's about being for better, more thoughtful technology. Let's get out there and change the world, and our AI, for the better.